Hey guys, I'm Leila. So today we are going to be playing some more War and Order. If you guys are not familiar with this game, War and Order is a medieval themed, like real-time strategy. It's tower defense, it's castle building. It's just a really fun and nice kind of additional game to add in that I've really been enjoying. And as you guys can see, I'm in cosplay today. I'm cosplayed as basically like an elf warrior. You're going to see my avatar up there on the top. Basically, that's who we're cosplaying as because why not? It's a lot of fun with this game. So if you guys missed my last video, I will have a link down below. Last video we looked at the trailer for the game. We did a little bit of a tutorial. That way you guys can kind of get a walkthrough of what my kingdom looks like. And since that time frame, we've done a really good job just upgrading our kingdom some more, which I will show you guys that as well too. Also, I'm gonna have a link down below in the comments if you guys want to click that and download the game. It's actually going to give you a free gift pack, I believe worth $40 worth of resources for the game as well too. So today what I want to show you guys is the game mode that I've really been enjoying, and this game mode is right here. It's called a Defense Command, and there's actually two modes here. There's Classic and there's Infinity Wars. Now what's nice is Classic reminds me very much of like a tower defense, and I find those games to be a lot of fun, kind of like Warcraft 3 if you guys are used to some other games like I am. So that's basically what we have here. Is it's very much like a tower defense. Now what you are going to see is I am at stage 11, but we're kind of stuck there at the moment. So I'm going to show you guys how to progress through with that when we get there. But what I am going to do is we are going to back it up a bit. There's a couple here that you are going to see that the stages that have like this skull and the wings are actually kind of like a boss stage, right? So let's hop into stage 3. And what you're going to find with tower defense is there's going to be enemies pushing in, and you have to build all these different weapons to kind of stop them, right? Like we have arrows, we have cannons, we have an ice tower that freezes them and slows them down, does damage. Then we also have this like arcane mage tower. And the idea is the HP decreases as any enemies get through and hit your castle. So again, what we want to do is we basically want to defend our castle the best that we can. And we are starting with resources here. I have 220. So we are going to see is I'm actually going to drop down this freeze tower because I want to slow them as they're walking by. And I am going to drop down this arrow, bow and arrow, and I'm actually going to upgrade it as well too. It does more damage, it goes a bit faster, and you see that as we start killing the enemies when they're walking by, our resources are accumulating, which again gives us more resources to use because I am going to have to drop down more defense. I'm gonna have to drop down, you know, probably one of the cannons. I'll probably have to put down another arcane tower. And you guys are going to see that this is the path that they're taking, and we want to prevent them from getting to our tower. So we're on wave 2 out of 5, which you can see up there on the top right. So right now I do have enough resources to drop down another building. So I'm actually going to drop down a cannon, and these numbers that you see it means it's number 1, but they are upgradable. Like you saw, I was actually able to upgrade my bow and arrow up here. So here we go. So we're still walking. I do have enough resources to upgrade or add in another defense. So what I am going to do is this time I am going to drop down this arcane tower that you guys can see. So this does magic damage as well. Now, what ends up happening too is as you're going through the stages the first time around, sometimes they're going to give you some hints on what to do. So for example, there was one stage I went through where the boss was a dragon, and the hint was to use freezing to slow them down and to use the arcane towers to kind of melt their wings. So that kind of stuff you want to pay attention to and make sure that you're using the right tower items depending on what stage you're in. So right now we are going to upgrade my cannons because you see we got some big fellas kind of wandering this way. And what I am going to want to do is I'm probably going to drop down another freezing circle because I really want to try to slow these guys down most I can to try to take them out before they can make their way to my castle. We're doing really well because we are on wave 3 out of 5. You see there's a countdown. And I'm going to show you some of the other stages as well. Like this one's pretty straightforward. There's going to be other stages that actually have multiple gates where the enemies are coming out. So that takes a lot more strategy. And I want to say like this is probably the mode I have been enjoying the most in this game because I like that strategy aspect of thinking about it. The other thing is too is we can speed it up. So you're going to see the 1x up here. If I hit that, everything goes much faster. Now, depending, so it goes to a 4 as well. Now, depending on how you do with these types of games, you might want to keep it on a 1 for a while because, again, see, they're moving slower and it lets you be able to think about what you want to do and where you want to place your towers, what it is that you want to use for defense. But if you're used to these kinds of games and you could kind of think quickly, then you definitely can speed it up much faster than what it is. So here we go. So we have a 3-headed dog. So we have the boss coming out and you see I have plenty of resources still. So basically watching just to kind of see how this is looking and where I'm going to have to drop down some items. Now, as you guys can see, it also is like these shiny patches are the only areas that you're allowed to drop buildings down. You're not allowed to drop them anywhere else. So again, it comes down to strategy. You also can take buildings down as well too. So when I click on this, you see how it's like a recycle is you do get resources back if I take that down. So for example, we see the boss is walking by. If I want to get these resources back, I can drop it and I could place another tower down, for example. So for that case, I happen to drop down the bow and arrow. And as you guys saw, they didn't get very far. I cleared them before they even got remotely close to my castle. So because of that, I got the max 3 stars. And there you go. And you always get rewards for this too. So the first time around is you end up getting rewards, which you get all kinds of chests, you get resources, you get some equipment. So you do get some really good things in here. I think this is such a fun game mode. Let's head over here to 9. So you're going to see with 9, I had 1 star. And so this one meant that I had less than 9 HP left, which meant that some of them got through. So let's hit this one and see if we can improve and maybe try to do better than 1 star. So this, you're going to see there's actually 2 gates. And the gate right here on the left is the first one that they're going to pop out of. So this is where we're going to start. And you're going to see we start with a lot more resources too because there's actually going to be 2 different gates that the enemies are coming through. So it's a lot more micromanaging, a lot more having to pay attention. And you're going to see that shortly. Is it does show you the paths that they're going through, but you do have to pay attention so you can make sure to stop them as well too. All right, so we're stopping them before they get through the circle, which is fine. I'm also watching my resources as well because I know, here we go. So we do have some enemies that are coming out of this gate and this gate at the same time. I am going to drop down another freeze. I think we're going to drop a cannon, and I do want to drop down my arcane tower. So we got to watch because this is the, so we don't have enough to upgrade this right now. These guys have a much more straighter path towards the castle. So we do have to watch that. And we are going to upgrade my bow and arrow as well. Actually going to upgrade it here. There we go. All right. So we're watching. Here comes a big fella. On this side on the left, they're doing a pretty good job slowing them down and taking them out. This side, we're going to kind of really have to watch because you see they have a much more straighter path towards our castle. I am going to upgrade my cannon up top. So the cannon does kind of like AoE damage, area of effect. So it doesn't necessarily just hit one enemy, it hits multiple. All right, so this guy is running on through. So we're gonna have to try to stop him. There we go. So we got lucky we stopped him there. These guys run fast. So we always want to try to stop them before they can get through. There we go, good. So we're gonna upgrade our bow and arrows down here. Here comes another guy that's running. Good, so we're stopping him, very good. So we don't seem to be having any issues on the left side, which is fine. It's really the right side that I'm watching because like I said, they have a much more straighter path. And I do like this, like I said too, is they kind of give you these lines to show you the path that the enemies are taking. I am gonna upgrade this cannon up top. Because again, we have to kind of watch these guys. And you see that we're wave 4 out of 6. Good, we're doing a good job stopping them. All right, so we got one guy here that's running. And we can also place... Actually, I think I'm going to try to slow them down over here if we need to. And you're going to see the area too is that actually it extends all through here. All right, so we're watching this guy. We're doing good. There we go. These don't seem to be an issue. Some of the bigger guys, when they're trying to run through, we don't seem to be having too much of a problem over here, which is fine. They get caught on this side. Let's start upgrading. All right, and I'm actually going to upgrade my frost tower here. So what's up happening is you saw when I upgraded that, it increased the area where the enemies can get frozen, and it actually does a little bit of damage to them too. We are going to upgrade this bow and arrow down here. So we're doing well. As you see, we're at full health. Nobody has snuck by. And so what I want to try to do in this one is, you guys saw I had 1 star the last time I did. I want to try to see if I can improve it to at least 2, or see if I can get it flawless and get my 3 stars instead. So we're on wave 5. Here we go. So you see that it definitely starts increasing. Let's upgrade the top there. Definitely starts increasing on how many enemies come out at a time as well. All right. We're doing a good job stopping them. Very good. Between the mage tower, bow and arrow, doing very well. Then we have 2 more here. So we have a lot of resources. So technically I could probably upgrade these a bit more to have them do a little bit more damage. And I may end up, I think I'll just do that here too. That way we can start slowing them down a little bit sooner and do a little bit of damage to them. Very nice. And I still have, you see, I still have plenty of resources. I still have 4 areas that I could still drop down some buildings if we need them. And we might start to need them soon. So I'm going to drop a cannon down here. Because they're almost getting through, not quite. And we're going to fully upgrade that to 3. Yeah, we're doing a really good job just slowing everything down here. Very good. So I'm hoping I can get flawless here. There we go. So we're on the boss waves. Remember I was telling you that they were talking about a dragon and trying to slow the dragon down using arcane. So where's the dragon? The dragon is on this side. All right, so we're going to try to slow these guys down here. I'm actually going to drop an arcane tower here. All right. All right, here comes the dragon. So what we're going to do is I'm actually going to drop tower, because this is actually one of the things that they said when I first came in here, is they talked about trying to slow them down and freezing them out and doing damage. So we're going to drop some more towers down here, some more mage arcane towers, see if we could do better than that 1 star. And we did. So we did much better this time. So at least this time, we got 2 stars out of that. But so in this case, you can see how it was very different than the first stage I showed you, where it was like 1 gate and you really only had to manage enemies coming out of 1 area. This time you had to manage enemies coming out of both. There's a lot of micromanaging, and then also knowing that the boss was coming out was going to be doing quite a bit of damage as well too. So this was a lot more strategy involved. And like I said, if you find that to be a little too easy, because some people are really, really good at strategy games, you are going to see that there's a more difficult mode. You see there's hard mode that you could switch to, or like I said, you can also switch the speeds. So instead of the 1x speed that you see them on, you could do a 2x or a 4x, which is going to add so much more like a difficulty to it. So in this case, you see I was able to get 2 stars out of it instead of 1. So I am going to get a chest. So we're going to collect my chest and see what's in here, since we did improve from what we had last time. And I do have experience that goes to my lord. We do have research speed up, which that is what you're going to use as you're trying to build buildings and you're trying to get your tasks done sooner. And then we have the materials chest on normal. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Like I said, right now, this is probably my favorite mode in the game, is this Castle Wars. So if you're like me and you enjoy tower defense, you might enjoy something like this as well too. And feel free to download the link down below and play some War and Order with me. And leave me some comments down below on how you're doing and how you're enjoying the game.
Hey, check out some more videos up here in the playlist in the top right.